This interview of Sal Monaco was recorded at ErieCon, the annual event of the Buffalo Fantasy League. Please check out their website. Hello, everybody. Today I'm here with Sal Monaco, and it's a bit of a departure because Sal is a movie producer. And why don't you tell us a bit about your latest project, Sal?
Well, it's the 10th movie I've been in, but it's the first one that I made myself. It's called Beyond the Mainstream, and it's kind of a docudrama about the fandom community and the subculture community and the lifestyles community and the media community and the artsy community.
You're covering a lot of ground there. Where did you come up with it?
Well, I mean, I've always wanted to create something original that I didn't take from somebody else, something that is mine, my own universe, my own characters and everything else. So I figured I've had enough experiences in fandom and enough stuff going on that if I did this, I could create enough colorful characters and enough storylines to keep me going for a while. The first film was meant to introduce people to the universe and squeeze as much into 2 hours as we could. But I think I went a little crazy and varied from the script and just started filming stuff randomly to the point where after we had filtered out a lot of the footage and gotten just to the main crux, we had a 2 hour and 47-minute movie. So I had to go through and take out stuff I really didn't want to take out, but no one is going to watch an independent 2 hour, 47-minute movie. So we got it down to 2 hours and 21 minutes, and that became the director's cut. But I liked it, but nobody else did because it was dragging a little bit in places. And it kind of looked more like a mash of short films than it did an actual feature. So we made a second cut, which was about 2 hours long, and we took out a subplot and made a short film that was about 10 minutes and 10 and a half minutes, and I called it Life of a New Age Singer. But then we made a third revision, which was an hour and 47 minutes, and that's the one that's going to go into the theater. And one more subplot was ripped out and put into the short film, which is now 20 minutes. Plus we had a minute and 24-second bloopers short film that was made by the former producer. And so we're running the three of them in the theater along with a couple music videos made by some friends of mine and some live performances of the original music that's going to appear in the movie. And this movie's been 6 years in the making because it was a long, complicated process learning how to do it and having the right people doing the right things. But I finally got everything into place, and it was basically trial by fire, and I went too fast, too much too fast, had to slow down and kind of take the baby steps first. But even after 6 years, we still have a good product for a first movie, and we're already working on the second movie. We've shot about 12 scenes for about 12 episodes of the TV series that we're planning on making. Second movie is going to be a TV pilot for the TV series, whether it ends up in syndication or web TV or straight to video or whatever. It's called Welcome to My World, and then the TV series is going to be called Welcome to Our World.
Oh, that's excellent. I mean, it sounds like you have learned and adapted. And, I know from editing that your first draft is never good.
That's right.
Good writing is rewriting, and I'm sure it's the same with film.
It is, but the problem is that when you're editing, when you're editing film, you have to make sure everything makes sense, and you have to make sure you got all the right stuff. And there are times when someone might want to cut something because they don't like it, but if you do, you risk destroying the continuity of it all. I mean, with the written word, it's easy to jury rig things. Like you could take a couple paragraphs out and put in a sentence and pretty much say the same thing, just on a smaller level. Whereas in film, you got to be very careful that you have, the continuity tied up and everything. I mean, I think that way. I mean, my thing in film is I have friends who are tech snobs who, if they don't see an upgraded tech, they don't care. I prefer, like, take Doctor Who, for example. Some of the early Doctor Who's had green slime in them, people in rubber costumes and everything, but the storylines were always good. The characters, the acting was always good, and that's what I cared about more than the low tech.
I'm the same way, actually. I've seen some movies that people panned for being B-rate and just thoroughly enjoyed them because it started with a good story and the actual acting was well executed.
Yeah, I mean, you could have the lowest production values in the world, but if you have a good lead, if you have a good cast, a good story, and some decent film work, you could have a really great film on your hands.
This interview brought to you by the works of Stephen B. Pearl, the finest in speculative fiction. Please visit my website at www.stphenpearl.com for more information.